Okay, my love, I think it's time we talked about growth because change doesn't necessarily come with growth, but growth absolutely always comes with change. Growth comes with a price. Growth is not free, there is a cost to growth. Growth also changes things, especially dynamics in relationships as well. Growth also shifts identity. It's internal before it's actually visible, and tangible. And more importantly, growth is not always celebrated. In fact, sometimes growth is actually villainized. Growth can absolutely be lonely. As you go through growth, there's people that you thought would be rocking with you that maybe not be rocking with you anymore. Growth also puts you in a position to be misunderstood because growth also shifts perception. The way you perceive things changes. The way you see things are not necessarily going to be the way that you saw them before. And as you change and you grow, you change your perception of things, your experience of things change, your discernment rises. Things that you used to notice or things that you would just allow, you may not allow those same things anymore. As you are recognizing within yourself that you deserve more, or you don't want to tolerate certain things because your palate for those things just isn't there anymore. That's just a part of growth. Sometimes we outgrow things, we outgrow places, we outgrow people, we outgrow habits. Growth can also disrupt expectations. And with every level and every aspect of growth that you experience in your life, there is going to be a shift in expectations, not just expectations of what you expect, but expectations of what others expect. Your expectation requires separation. Your expectation requires elevation. But because they don't want to elevate themselves, they rather look at you and complain about your elevation because your elevation requires separation, which requires that the access that they previously had to you is no longer available. And they might start feeling some type of way. I don't think it's ever really truly understood until you are in it and experiencing it. And if you are going through that and you don't understand that that's a part of growth and you don't see it for what it is, you can fall into the trap of feeling hurt by it, feeling some type of way by it, feeling like maybe you need to shrink yourself, you need to minimize yourself. You shrinking yourself, you minimizing yourself is actually taking you away from your purpose and your calling. Your purpose and your calling is going to require growth. You have to grow. This whole life is about growth. Growth is really meant to prepare you for your next chapter. You go through it, you're being prepared. As growth affects expectations, a lot of it is about people just really attaching to the old version of you. They don't want to change themselves. So they expect you to stay at that same level, to allow the same things that you used to allow. And as you grow and you change, ultimately, you're not going to want to accept the same things that you used to accept. You're not going to want to allow the same things that you used to allow, especially when you start understanding your purpose, you start building discernment, and you start really valuing yourself more, honoring yourself more, respecting yourself more. There's certain things that maybe you used to do because that felt comfortable to you, or maybe not even if it felt comfortable, but you used to do it because you felt like you had to. But once you grow and you have a certain level of discernment, realizing that you don't have to do them things, then you're not going to want to do those things. And the individuals that try to hold you hostage in who you used to be, instead of allowing you to become who you need to be so you can move forward into your next chapter and really fulfill your purpose here, they are not helping you, they are hindering you. Growth does not just change who you are as a person, it's going to change your relationships. And as your relationships change, you may come to realize that the version of you that has grown is not the version of you that some people in your life signed up for. And when it comes to that realization, it can be disgruntling, it can be sad, it can feel lonely, it can feel all types of ways except good. Growth is not just personal. Growth is meant to disrupt patterns. It is meant to change how accessible you are. It is meant to change what you tolerate. It is meant to change how other people experience you. And a good portion of growth is directly related to your boundaries. Boundaries are important. And with this month being February, it is the 11th year of me celebrating the Self Love Pact, which was something that I felt was so necessary. I have an earlier video from last year where I share a little bit more about what the Self Love Pact is. If that is something you want to check out, I'll link it in the description. But making that decision to love myself more was a fine tuning over a number of years. And I still often go back to the self love packs, and it is definitely in need of an upgrade right now. But it is truly meant for beginners, people who are beginning their self love journey that need more support, need more understanding to really dive deeper and start changing the perspective of where they are and seeing themselves in a different light, to allow them to grow, to change, to become a better version of themselves. And it's not something that happens overnight. One of the things for me that I noticed, I think it was around the third year of me doing the self love pact, I came to realize that I needed to really work on my boundaries. And that just meant saying no to some people. That meant just not associating with some people anymore. And although I have given grace to individuals time and time and time and time and time again, there comes to a point in your growth where you just realize that it's just certain aspects and situations and circumstances that you have dealt with have really outpaced their time. They've outpaced their time. Certain things that you've accepted that are just, you just can't tolerate it anymore. Certain things that you've allowed, you just can't allow it anymore. And you realize that these are the exact things that are keeping you where you are and stagnating your growth instead of allowing you to move forward. Because although you may have individuals in your life who love you so much and want you to do well and want you to grow, if they themselves are not wanting to do the same thing, it doesn't really add add value. At certain points, it starts subtracting from you. If there are people in your life that you have to shrink yourself to be around, if there are people in your life that you cannot flow freely as you are, if there are people in your life that want to minimize you, manipulate you, that want to distract you, it's not going to work. But it's important for you to recognize and do the inventory of the individuals in your circle, in your life. And sometimes it's a hard decision. I don't know if you've ever seen that quote, but it says you are a CEO of your life and you have the responsibility to hire, fire, demote, promote, whoever you need to. Your life is like your personal company, and how you manage that will dictate everything. One thing I need you to remember, if you forget everything else I've said in this video, is that growth will change how other people see you. And that does not mean that you're wrong. Because what I've come to realize, sometimes you're just going to end up being the villain in somebody else's story. No matter how patient, how kind, how understanding you have been, there is still going to be somebody who is going to look at you and call you the villain in their story. And one of the biggest lessons that I have learned in my journey is that that's okay. Sometimes you just have to be the villain to somebody, because the thing is that you know the truth, and the truth is the truth is the truth is the truth is the truth. And there's another saying, I obviously love sayings. There's another saying that says there are three sides to the story. There's their side, there's your side, and then there's the truth. Because either side of the story can be swayed in any direction based on that person's perception, their view of the world, their understanding, their awareness. There's a lot of things that can shift perception. But one thing about the truth is that the truth is going to remain the truth no matter what. The truth is just the truth. The truth, it just is. The truth just is. And that's it. So as long as you know the truth, you don't have to defend it. I don't have to defend the truth. The truth is the truth. And if that's your version, well then baby, rock out to that version. But ultimately it just is so much more peaceful. You conserve so much more energy if you just allow people to be wrong about you. But okay, that's how you feel, then go ahead and feel that way. Just okay. Hey, do you, boo. So before we close off this video, I want to go ahead and leave you with just a few little reminders as you may be navigating a season of growth and dealing with a lot of things and just not really sure which way to go. I hope this helps you. Number one, growth is not betrayal. You are not abandoning anybody or harming anybody because you are choosing to evolve. And another saying says that everybody can't go where you're going. So if that is where you are right now, don't condemn yourself. Don't be mad at yourself. Don't feel bad. Don't let anybody make you feel bad that you have grown and you have elevated, because the thing is, only you know the work, the effort, the loneliness, the tears, the frustrations, the sleepless nights that you endured to be able to step into the version of you that you are now. Only you know. Only you know. Number two, being misunderstood is sometimes the cost of growth, because ultimately people will only be able to relate to the version of you that they understand. And as I stated earlier in the video, not everybody is willing to grow, not everybody wants to grow. So as you are growing and changing and evolving, some people are just not they're not going to be on board. And it's not, again, it's not because you're doing anything wrong, it's just that they can't relate to that version of you. And if they can't relate to that version of you, it's obviously going to change access to you, and changing access to you might cause people to be upset, be disgruntled. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for those changes. Number three, that expectations are other people's silent contracts with you. So they made that contract with you in their head. You didn't make that contract with them. So as you change and you grow and you evolve, that may be very triggering to some people. But ultimately, if it's not attached to your purpose, it's not going to click, it's not going to be in there. You have your discernment, you have your own soul, You can tap in, you're self aware, you can figure out what's for you, what's not for you, and move accordingly. And it's not about being rude, it's not about disrespecting anybody, it's about being clear. Number four, and this is the biggest one, because growth requires emotional endurance, not hype, endurance. Because as you are growing and you are experiencing all of these things, it's going to tug at you emotionally. And it is so important for you to remember exactly who you are, exactly what you are doing in this life, exactly what your purpose is, and stand on business. Okay? Stand on business. Know your truth. Recognize what's not aligned. Recognize what just isn't what it needs to be. And move in that knowing. If you're going through a growth season right now, where you are feeling misunderstood, perhaps you're being villainized, perhaps people aren't really seeing eye to eye with you, perhaps you might be feeling lonely. A number of any of the things I mentioned in this video could be what you're experiencing right now. This is not a moment to second guess yourself. This is not a moment to retreat. This is a moment to double down and really tap into loving yourself even more on a higher level, pouring more into yourself. Because the truth of the matter is, a lot of times we pour into others and we do it with such vigor that we don't give ourselves that same energy. So when we start growing and elevating in life, some people might feel entitled to what you are giving them. But I strongly encourage you that when they start acting up or feeling some type of way about it, that you just turn that into yourself. Invest that same energy into yourself. Go harder on your self love journey. Go harder on taking care of yourself, respecting yourself, valuing yourself. Go harder on honoring yourself as much as you can. And if self love is something that's foreign to you, something that you've not really looked into, the Self Love Pact helped me tremendously. And I encourage you to check it out. I I'll go ahead, I'll link it. I'll link it down below. I actually have a free self-love masterclass inside of our group, the Royal Court. So check it out if you want to kind of get a sneak peek into that whole process. But honestly, it is something that has really helped me. I'm grateful that I took the time to really indulge in learning how to love myself more. That was one of the best things I could have done for myself. And it really prepared me for experiences after the fact. It was something that I actually wish I had from the beginning of time when I first started experiencing all of these things and I wasn't really sure what to make of it. And when I used to just see how people that were supposed to care for me and love me treated me, I think if I had access to a resource like that in those times, I may have been able to process it better. I definitely feel like I would have gotten a lot further in life. But the beauty of it is that because of those experiences that I have gone through, I I was able to understand these things a little bit more and now I can create these videos. And I just hope that whoever's watching this video right now, if you're still watching to this point and it's resonating with you, I just want to encourage you. I know it can be challenging, but there's more. There's more for you. There's more for you. But you have to believe it and you have to trust it and you have to keep pushing through even when it's hard. And there's nothing wrong with taking a break. I've taken a million of those in my life. And just know that your purpose will supersede the struggle at the end of the day. When you make it through to the other side and you really start seeing what's possible, your perspective on everything will change. So, with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. I hope this video brought you value. Share your stories if it resonated. I love chit chatting with you. Drop it in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.